Hello everybody, how you doing? Can you hear me? Oh yeah, there's still more people coming on. Hello?
Hi, guy.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh okay, good stuff. That's alright then. I'm gonna try and record the meeting anyway, and put it onto YouTube so everybody can see it
Okay.
if anybody misses it or anything like that. So how's everybody doing? Everybody okay?
Good.
Living the dream?
Wish.
Okay, cool. Um, so yeah, I won't keep everybody very long. I'll just give you a bit of an update on what's happening. So yeah, we're in the process of recruiting um, new agents and new finance brokers and all that kind of thing. And I had an email off Debbie the other day, and she was saying about um, how she could earn like a regular wage and all that sort of stuff. And I said to her, well, probably what might be a good thing would be to. Hang on a sec, somebody's trying to call me. Would be to. This is what happens when you've got a ton of people all trying to get onto something all at once. Would be to help us recruit people. And basically, what we would do from there would be we would take a percentage out of the administration fee that we charge as the subscription, and then pay that towards somebody having a wage, basically. So that way, it helps us out because it helps us to recruit a big team fairly quickly, and it helps that person out at the same time because then they've got a bit of basic money coming in all the time anyway, to help support them. So that was the idea behind that one. But that's normally what we do. So yeah, we should be able to put somebody on a not too bad a wage as long as we can recruit between 15 people per person, something like that. We're trying to get up to around about 100 agents by the end of this year, or well, hopefully as soon as possible, and 100 finance brokers. So just to let you all know as well, we're doing the TV show. We're kicking that off. I think it's going to be around about June. So I'm flying down to Melbourne on the 29th, and I'm going to have meetings with several different builders there, um, and we're going to use multiple locations, and then we're also auditioning people to be on the show on the Friday. So we've got about 50 or 60 people lined up, and basically the TV producer is going to cherry pick who we'd like to put in the show. And then the majority of it will be filmed in Melbourne because the TV people are based in Melbourne. So to cut down on the costs of the production, that's why we're going to do a lot of it in Melbourne. So what'll happen is they will film the couples in their own home, do a little bit of an interview with them, do some establishing shots on some building sites and things like that, filming a couple of display homes and some apartments and that type of thing, edit it all together, and then what we'll probably do is we'll set up a probably a week of filming in Melbourne at probably the end of June or July or something like that, where we just all fly in and then we'll film like office scenes and stuff like that, talking about the company and what the company does and all that kind of thing. And yeah, so it'll all be staged and planned out and that kind of thing, and we'll have a bit of a storyline to go through. So nobody has to be an actor. We'll just we'll just have a conversation as if we're in like a board meeting or something like that. And that's the plan basically with that. And then we're going to try and get some sponsors. I'm meeting with a marketing company, an advertising and marketing company, while I'm in Melbourne as well, and they're going to see if they can find some sponsors for the show as well. If not, then the company will just pay for the show. So that's the plan. So yeah, has anybody got any questions about that? No. No? Nobody's got any questions?
I got a question.
Go on.
We're thinking about having 100 odd brokers and agents.
Hmm.
Would it be great to also have like 1,000 odd lead generators or lead qualifiers for us brokers and agents, just to make our job a little bit easier?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is, off the back of the TV show, we're going to employ a call centre overseas to call through all the leads that are generated off the show, because we've got an estimate of around about 200,000 leads can be generated off that TV show. So it'd be a couple of thousand like new contacts per person working for the company. So yeah, we'll try and filter it as much as possible so it's not overwhelming, because we're going to put like competitions into it and everything else. But what I was thinking as well is that we'll also attract a load of new agents that will want to subscribe and come and join the company, as well as the brokers. So the revenue generated from that we'll put into then using an overseas call centre to then call through all the data anyway and clean it all up and that kind of thing. So that'll help then from both sides, because otherwise it would be overwhelming. If you suddenly had 2,000 leads tomorrow, you'd be you're not going to be able to call them all, are you? So so that's the plan. That's the plan with it. So, but it'll make a huge difference to the brand and everything else, and the credibility of the company and all that type of thing, because it'll be a talking point across the industry. You've got the general public that will talk about it because it's a mainstream show that's about property, which people love that. And then you've got the people in the industry, all the people in the LJ Hookers and the Ray Whites and all those places going, did you see that show? Do you know about that company, what it does, all that sort of stuff. So it should be a big help. So yeah, so that's the plan. So it'll be, the majority of everything I think is going to end up being filmed in Melbourne. So we'll have to work around that. And it's based on, we'll see who's available to fly down there and be on the show and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's good. If anybody gets stage fright, then they probably won't want to go. But whoever does want to go, you're welcome to go down. But yeah, so in regards to the advertising and the marketing and everything else, we're just a lot of the stuff's coming from Listing Loop. We're going to do I think some more stuff on Domain at a later date. We're looking at realestate.com, and then there's a few other websites. We've tested Homely. It's not very good. We were only getting like 1 lead a month on average, or something pretty rubbish. So we're gonna we'll probably drop them when the contract expires, because they're just not performing. And then yeah. So has anybody got any questions or need any help with training or anything like that at the moment? Because I know we've got a lot of new people that have started.
Yeah, I do.
I thought you did. Okay. Right. Well, so what I was going to suggest was, if you're new and you've only just started, because I know Justin sent me an email saying he wants training and stuff, let's book in the times to do one-to-one training, and I'll spend half an hour to an hour with you at least, training you on scripts and what to say and what to do and all that sort of stuff. So just let me know when suits you. And yeah, I mean, I'm normally available from 9 to 5 Monday to Friday anyway. You know what I mean? You can ring me whenever you want, and I'll talk to you if you get stuck with anything. But
I'm not stuck. I just need direction.
Okay.
Direction, yeah, and where to go when they say they're interested. Because
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, the process is pretty simple. Like, I think we got feedback from Michelle, and I could tell from the conversation. Well, she didn't talk to me. She talked to Mackenzie. So I don't know if anybody knows who Mackenzie is, but Mackenzie's the business development manager. And she stalked you, did she? Oh, that's nice.
No, she thought I was an inquiry. She thought I was a customer.
It's because you probably called me on another number. I gave her a load of numbers to follow up with because I got these people calling my spare phone. Yeah. So I haven't got time for them. I got people ringing me up at random all the time. So normally it's sales calls for me. Anyway, the feedback was that Michelle said she'd called 100 leads, but she hadn't really called 100 leads because Mackenzie went on the system and she got like 100 voicemails or something, and she got one person that wanted to buy off the plan, but she told them who the builder was, so they went to the builder. So that's a schoolgirl error right there. You don't tell them who the builder is. So normally, to give you an idea what the process is, if somebody rings you or you ring them and you talk to them about, first of all, what their time frame is to buy, what they want to buy, if they've got finance or not. If they haven't got finance, and they haven't got a finance broker, then you contact either a finance broker that you know, or you go onto our website and pick a finance broker and contact them and say, look, I'm talking to this person, they want to buy a property, they haven't got the finance, can you ring them back? And then the finance broker then, if they're any good, will ring them back and sort out the finance for you. So that's job one. The other thing is to control the conversation. So if the person's saying to you, well, who's the builder, what's this, what's that, whatever, you say, well, look, I don't just work with one builder, I work with lots of builders all over the country. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look, see what stock's available. I'm going to send you some information. This is where you send them a brochure or something like that. So I'm going to send you the information, and then you have a look at that. Let me know what you think. And it should be sending out like generic white labeled brochures, nothing with anybody's builder's name on it or anything like that. And I know somebody's going to kick off in a minute and say, I haven't got a white labeled brochure, but I'm working on that, getting that sorted out, and I'll also teach you how to do that. So you send them out the information, come back to them and say, do you like those type of designs? And if they say, yes, I like that, or I want this changing, or whatever, say, okay, now if you want something different that's not on that plan or that floor plan or whatever, then you're going to need to talk to the builder. So for that reason, I need to take your information down so I can pass it on to the builder, and then the builder will talk to you directly, and then that you can go from there. And if you decide to go to contract, it's subject to finance and there's no pressure from our side, and if you don't like that builder, I'll find you another builder. And basically what you're doing there is you're controlling the conversation, and you're making sure that they understand without you they're not going to get the best deal, because you don't just have the one builder, you've got 100 builders. So if they don't like that particular one, or they don't like that design, or whatever it is, or the price is too high, whatever, then you've got other people you can go to. So what you're doing is you're taking the pain away from them. They don't have to do all the research themselves, they don't have to do all the ringing round. You're going to do all that for them. But you control the situation whereby you get the details of the person, the name and address, contact details, all that sort of stuff. You do the expression of interest form with them over the phone. So you say, well, I'm going to get the information down on an expression of interest form. I'll send you a copy so you know exactly what I put down. I'm going to send that out to the builder, and then we're going to try and work it out between the three of us, whether or not you can buy this property. And if it isn't right for you, I'll find you something else. So once you've done that, basically, I think now you've got their details and everything else. What you will know as well from the conversation is if this person's serious, then they probably will have a solicitor, and they will have a finance broker. If they're not serious, they won't have either. It's not likely that they'll have a solicitor off the top of their head, because it might have been years since the last time they bought something, or they might have never bought something, right? So in that situation, what I do is I'll say, look, I'm going to find you a local solicitor, and I'm going to put that down on the form. If you want to change solicitors for any reason, if you don't like them or it doesn't fit the bill, that's fine. You just tell the builder you want to use somebody else. But what I do is I explain to them, I have to have a solicitor's details on the form, because if I don't, the builder's not going to think that you're genuine. The other thing that the builder might ask for is a copy of their ID as well. So you say, take a photograph of your driving license so I can verify you are who you say you are. Because, again, there's a lot of things where the builders want to confirm this is a genuine buyer and this isn't, you know, some Mickey Mouse person trying to pretend to buy a house or whatever. So once you've got that information, you've sent it back to the builder, you contact the builder and you say, right, Mr. or Mrs. Smith wants to buy this house, it's lot number whatever it is. I've gone on the portal, it looks like you've still got it available, can you put it on hold for me? Is there anything else you need me to do? Are you happy to talk to the client? So on and so forth. And the builder will tell you exactly what they need. And then you just do whatever they ask, basically. So if they say, I need a copy of the driving license, you ring the person back and you get the copy of the driving license. And that's pretty much it. And once the expression of interest form goes in, the builder then gets in touch, and then the builder will then send the contract, and that's pretty much it. It's all DocuSign. You'll be CC'd into everything. As soon as the client signs it and everything else, that's it. The job's done. So once that's completed, then we send the invoice out, and then once it goes to, if it's a two-stage contract, then when the slab goes down, we send the second invoice out, and that's pretty much it. So that's all you've got to do. That's literally all you've got to do. And I'll tell you how easy it is, right? Because some people aren't making the phone calls for whatever reason. They haven't got time. They're doing another job. I don't know, right? But I'll tell you how easy it is. I've done a deal this week. It's taken me less than 2 hours to do it. I've made $45,000 in less than 2 hours. And I'm not the salesperson. I just took the phone call. And that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. That's the amount of money that you can earn if you're consistent and you follow through. So I can tell you that I can send you all the email back and forth. The contract's been sent out to the client today. I rung the girl back today. So it normally consists of, cheers. Normally consists of, yeah. The Milky Bars are on me. What was I going to say? But it normally consists of a couple of phone calls and a couple of emails, basically. So all I did, I spoke to her, said, what do you want to buy? Have you got the money? What's your situation? She told me everything. I emailed her some information. I spoke to the builder. I checked that this lot was still available. He said it was. I said, okay. Got the expression of interest form done with her on the second phone call, rung her back, got all her information. Explained to her we need a copy of her driving license to prove who she is. Checked to confirm the spelling of her name and her address and everything else. Gave it all to the builder. They sent the contract out today. They've been in touch with her solicitor. The solicitor that I suggested, because she didn't have a solicitor, like I just said, so I suggested one, said, this is a quantity surveyor and a solicitor in Gregory Hills. Are you happy with them? Yeah, I'm happy with them. Great. So that was that, and it was done. So that's pretty much it now. She's going to the bank today. She's going to the bank today to confirm she can borrow the money that she needs to borrow. And that's it. I know she's got the money because I know she got at least 100k in savings, and I know that she owns a house that's worth over $1 million. So she's sorted. And it's taken me less than 2 hours to do that deal. Now just sit back, and the builder will tell me when I need to send the invoices out. I'll put them into the system. They'll be automated, and the invoice will go out, and that'll be that. I'll put it in my diary just to keep an eye on it. So I go, okay, when am I getting paid? Such and such, right? Okay, I'll bring them back then. And that's it. And that's as easy as it is.
So I've got a question there.
Yeah.
So a couple of developers I'm dealing with, they need 5% deposit or $2,000 as a holding deposit.
Yeah.
So should we ask that while expression of interest, or how it works in that case?
No, we don't take any payments or anything like that. We don't do any trust accounting. That's all done by the builder. So you can explain to the client that they're going to the builder's going to ask them for a deposit, and it's going to be paid into a trust account. But we don't take any payments or anything like that. Sometimes on a builder's expression of interest, there might be a section for somebody's bank details so they can process a deposit. They can give you the bank details and you can put them on the form. But in my experience, it would probably be better to explain that to them and let them fill the bank details in themselves. And then that's it. But yeah, we don't take any payments off anybody. So we don't do any trust accounting or anything like that. So you just basically explain to them. It's normally $1,000 or $2,000 to hold the block of land. And if you're a first time buyer, they're going to want a 5% deposit. If you're an investor, they're going to want a 10% deposit of what the property's value is. So, and that's pretty much it. You're just reiterating what the builder's going to tell them, but you don't take any payments off anybody. You just tell them that's standard practice when they're having a house built.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Next question. Has anybody else got any questions?
Oh, Guy, I've just joined the meeting.
Oh, sorry. It's all right. I've recorded it, so I'm going to put it onto YouTube anyway. So don't stress out.
Okay.
I've recorded. I've got another phone,
Alright.
which is filming up my nose as we speak. So you'll have a nice view of my double chin. So I'll put that onto YouTube, and then you can watch the meeting. I normally do that if people can't come to it and stuff like that.
My only question is, and I'm
Yeah.
really, new to this, only like 3 weeks or 4 weeks into it now. I've just noticed a bit of a shift in the conversation when I mention new builds.
Yeah.
New builds, house and land packages. People are saying, oh no, now obviously they're listening to the media.
Yeah.
So with all the delays, or there's, maybe problems around people's, certainty around developers, their financial sort of viability.
Yeah.
What is everyone else finding, and what would be your response to that?
Well, I would probably say that, I think Mackenzie's got a very good thing for that objection. It's like the property value in Australia hasn't gone down in the last 17 years or something. So whatever they're thinking that the price is going to go down on a property or whatever. It's not. So they might say, I would say to them, well, I'm going to wait, see what happens with the interest rates, see if the builders reduce the price of the build costs and all that stuff. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. Realistically, it's just going to go up. So
for the actual build costs of the buildings, they're sort of standard and they're not going to be reduced.
Yeah. The only reason why
I can tell you property prices. I'm just trying to do sign a contract at the moment for a client here in Sydney in the Northern Beaches. So definitely property prices, physical, established, or properties are diminishing. Not in every single suburb, but there is a big change. But I think it's just the recent media. Talking about developers going bust or construction companies going, I think it was BGC and one other. Yeah. Which, so they're thinking, they're a bit nervous about losing their deposit or having it's actually also the delay. They're hearing about properties are taking a lot longer to finish.
Well, what you've got there is a situation where we've had a property boom over the last 2 years where all of a sudden, because of COVID, it's like a perfect storm situation. You got all these people that were stuck in Melbourne or wherever they were going, I think I'll buy in Queensland and I'll escape to Queensland, for example. So Queensland's prices went from like 450,000 to 650,000 because the demand was there, and then all the cost of the building materials all went up, and then all the time frames all got changed because stuff that they were going to sell over 2 years, they sold in less than 6 months. So they're all done in stages and planned out, and that's what's happened. So now what you find is it's started to slow down because everybody's gone back to work and everything's returned to sort of normal. So you've still got this high demand lingering from people that couldn't get stuff, and then what the news is doing is they're playing on the negative because it gets viewers basically. So they always play on the negative,
I know that,
So the reality is, the build cost will be stable now because the demand isn't as high as it was when the property boom's on. But the build, every single builder that we work with, if they go out of business, we take them off the system and we stop advertising their stuff immediately. And everybody that we've got, as far as I'm aware, is in a stable position. We don't work with anybody who's in any kind of trouble. You know what I mean? So everybody that we're working with, touch wood, is all good. So I don't think you're going to have that. I mean, I understand where they're coming from because, you know, there is a risk of whatever, but there's a risk with anything that you do like that when it comes to property. If they buy an existing one, there might be something wrong with it. If they have a new one built, something might not be quite right. But yeah, in regards to that, then the builders are the builders are all covered. So, but I mean, as I say, it's a difficult one to deal with because they're going off what the news has told them. So you go, well,
I'm just interested to hear, is anyone else experienced that in the last 2 weeks or so, having a bit of a...
Yeah, I did. Even I started last 3 weeks back, and I'm getting the same objection. Like, I don't want to go and wait for a long time. It has been longer. So the one thing I'm trying to avoid this is, I acknowledge that, but then I now say that because it's coming back to normal, it's getting better, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then it's in people's head, I believe. You know, they don't want to go they don't want to wait 6 to 8 months or something like that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find houses which will be built in next couple of months, or which will be ready to move in next 3 months, even though it's a new. So what I found, some of our developers, they do have such kind of houses.
Yeah, they do.
So that might help.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. So there is.
Saying,
yeah, go on. Sorry, Jennifer. What were you going to say?
So you're saying that that not everything's off the plan, that the construction might be underway, and they may have some stock. So then just to focus, if anyone's sort of a bit uncomfortable about timelines, then to actually focus on that. Okay, so that's, I mean, look, I have one in Sydney that is 12 months over the completion date, or coming up to 12 months, and that was because of, I bought it when the building was built, so very late in the development, you know, but I could physically walk into the apartment, but with COVID and, you know, material delays and shortage of labour. And then also in Sydney, this is one of the first developments that has come back under the new laws and regulations where everything has to be privately certified. So they are going over, the Sydney City Council are going over this apartment building with a fine-tooth comb. So I'm not worried about that because that means that they're doing their due diligence, and there's not going to be any problems sort of down the track. And my client he's okay, but it's just that's just been a delay. That's all.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, these things happen. Like, you know, I mean, they have things like if it rains a lot, they can't build, or you know, the price of bricklayers go up or something like that, and all of a sudden, oh dear, you know. So these things happen, but you've sort of got to remember we've gone through a bit of an unusual time that we, you know, with the COVID thing and everything else, and it's changed the way everything's worked. So there is some positives out of it. Like as I say, a lot of this stuff can be done over the phone and via email, and you know, everybody uses DocuSign now, and you don't have to take somebody to a display home anymore because they've sold all the display homes. They're not building them anymore. I spoke to 2 builders yesterday. Oh no, we haven't got any display homes anymore. We don't do that because there's not a demand for it. Well, when we were doing this before, like 2 years ago or whatever it was, we'd have somebody sitting in a display home over the weekend, and all the people, because the builder didn't have a salesperson, but they had like 3 or 4 different display homes. So they just go, oh yeah, you can send one of your blokes down there, and the bloke can sit there all afternoon if you want, and anybody that comes in, if you can sign them up, great. You know, and people would demand to go and see stuff, whereas now that isn't the case, you know.
Right, fine.
So yeah, so things have changed. So there's a few negatives, but there's also a few really good positives. And as time progresses, when the market sort of stabilizes, goes back to normal, and you've got, you know, the stuff titles, you know, the same month that you're advertising it. So it's titled, it's ready to go. You know it's not going to take ages to build it. The build time will go from whatever the hell it is now to back to, I think it was 14 to 16 weeks on average to build a house. That's a normal time frame. So once all that sort of irons itself out, then we go back to equilibrium. Then you're okay. So, but we're gonna, what's it called? We're going to increase all the advertising and the marketing, and then obviously keep getting new builders as we go along anyway, to try and keep up with the demand of what's going on. So that's the plan. So yeah. But has anybody got any other questions? Because we haven't got much time left on this. We've got about 4 minutes, I think. No. Who wants to be on TV? Anybody or nobody?
Yeah, I want to promote my properties. So I'm in for the TV.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. So how do people feel about building a team if they want to like build a team of people underneath them? Does anybody want to do that, or is that not really your cup of tea? Because if you do want to do that, let me know.
I'm already doing it.
Oh, well, there you go then. Well, there you go then. You're well away. You're well away. Happy days. No, I know Diane's building a team, and Tracy, and yeah, so there's a few people. But it is good because, as I say, you're encouraging that, because I don't want to be in a situation where we've made a TV show and we haven't got... well, we haven't got a big enough team to cope with it, because there's going to be a lot of inquiries. There's going to be a lot of interest. So you've got to have people there to answer the phone and to deal with all these people. Because you can imagine, like, you think about the general public, there'll be a lot of people that have never built a house before, and they want to understand how the process works. Well, they're going to ring you because you've been on TV, so they see you as an authority figure, so they'll ring you up. Well, it's no good if it's just me answering the phone, is it? I'm not going to do very well, am I? On my own 200,000. I know. My phone will be. You would none of you lot will be able to ring me up because I'll be too busy on the phone selling stuff to people. But you know what I mean, like, yeah. So, but yeah, I think with the training and all that stuff, it is one of those things where I'm happy to do one-to-ones with people and get them up to speed, because I know we've got a ton of stuff on the CRM system, but it's not the same as when you talk to somebody and they go through it with you. So anybody wants any training, just let me know when you're available, and I'm happy to do the training with you, because, you know, I think it's better that you do a one-to-one with me and I'll go through everything from top to bottom. Because, I mean, there's, you know, sorry, go on. Sorry.
Who is that?
I don't know.
I was just going to say, look, I haven't actually got to that stage where I've been able to, like, someone's definitely said they want to do a house and land package, you know, these are the suburbs, or this is the state.
Yeah.
You know, take down their brief, what they're looking for. I actually haven't got to that stage. So that's probably where, I'm sort of will need a little bit of support.
Yeah, okay.
Just sort of,
yeah, well...
just the best approach. But at the moment, look, what I'm finding is, I think I might have mentioned to you, so some of the leads were maybe a bit old when I first started. And I'm just finding everyone's really, if they've been looking, there are a few tire kickers. Quite a few are looking for established properties already, wherever they're living, or they don't have their finance, or they're looking sort of for later in the year. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a pipeline of people to follow up. So I follow up with an email thanking them for the inquiry and say, look, these are my details. You can reach out at any time, or I'll follow up with you as we agreed And I've sent a few people over to a financial planner, and so
well,
just see what happens.
That's basically what it is. Really. It's the same with any real estate business. Is you end up with a pipeline of business and you go back to it. I mean, you've got the CRM system, so you can diarise it and you can put a task in to call it back and all that stuff. But you should end up with like 10 by the end of the year. You should end up with like 10 or 20 people that are definitely going to buy something off you. You know what I mean? After you've done a 12-month stint of that, and you might have done your first year, you might have only done 6 deals or something like that. But the following year you might do 20 because you've had that year of building the pipeline kind of thing. So you just have to play it by ear.
Yeah, and also I'm just going to put it out there. I hope you don't mind. I'm based in Sydney, and I actually work as a buyer's agent in Sydney. So if anyone comes across anyone that they're relocating or they actually want to purchase a property in Sydney, I might be able to help you out.
Yeah, definitely.
And vice versa, that if people are interstate, I'm and they need a buyer's agent, I'll try and refer them to someone.
Yeah, definitely, and we will be recruiting more buyers agents and definitely doing that because that's the way forward. Work together as a network and a team. Same with the finance brokers. You want to support each other and work together as a team and try and get as many deals done as possible. And if you can't sell them a brand new house, then maybe you can work with the buyer's agents and actually get them something existing instead and still get paid. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to have to end the meeting now because we're about to run out of time. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I've recorded everything, so I'll send it out to everybody if anybody's missed anything, okay?
Thank you. Okay, fantastic.
Nice talking to you all. I'll see you all soon. Give me a call if you need any training. Let me know, okay? Thanks again. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye. There you go.